your impressions of the drive right before halftime. Obviously, you guys trying to get something going, finally got something going, and what you guys were able to squeeze out of that 45 seconds.
Yeah, it was nice. Anytime you have the opportunity to work a 2-minute drive in a preseason game, it's good for the whole group. Just getting used to the play call, the tempo. I mean, a lot of games. I think last year, like the first week, I think it was 50% of the games came down to one score. So anytime you get a chance to work a high-pressure situation like that in a preseason game is important.
What did you sense out of Justin during that march?
Just calm, cool, collected. Did a great job leading us down the field and marched our way down there for a field goal. Obviously, you want to score a touchdown in those situations, but to get points on the board before half was big.
A lot of people talked about how Justin was calm on Saturday, even on the first possession, just when he runs out there. What were your interactions with him, and did he seem nervous or not? And is it unusual if he wasn't?
I don't know. It's like he was just ready to play football. At the end of the day, a lot of guys have played football for a long time, and he's played at a high level for a long time. So I think you can feel that he understands like his own expectations that he has for himself. And that's important. That's huge, to have that confidence in his own abilities and his understanding of our offense.
It wasn't that long ago that you were playing your first NFL exhibition game, and you didn't have a stadium full of people wearing your number. Do you imagine that pressure could be bad if you let it get to you?
I don't know. I mean, I could imagine it could be the coolest thing in the world, or like you said, it could be bad. But this is a great sport. In a city like this, when you're successful and you have those expectations, it's awesome. I would tell them relish every moment of it. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity for anybody who gets a chance to play in the NFL. But to see a bunch of number ones in the stands is awesome. Embrace it. This is all part of the journey.
Sam, when you're on the field and in the heat of battle, to what extent can you feel the energy that a guy like Justin Fields brings to a whole stadium when he's playing like he is like that?
Oh, it's awesome. It's infectious. I've never had the opportunity to play in front of fans, so to have the stadium like it was, Bears fans are Bears fans. It's incredible. So the crowd roar when he was able to come on the field for the first time, like it was cool. Some moment I'll definitely remember.
Is it overstating it? You're obviously just a rookie, but the classic quarterback, elite quarterback like he's supposed to be, makes other guys play better. Can you see how a guy like him can make you play better just by being who he is and the excitement he creates in the stadium?
Absolutely. Great teammates. Football is the ultimate team sport. Great teammates, no matter what position they play, are going to elevate the guys around them and make them look way better than they are. When you think about all the Super Bowl teams and all the great teams that you have throughout the history of the NFL, there's players that they have in that locker room that take players and elevate their game, and they elevate everybody around them, and that's really infectious, and it's really the accountability that they have for their own craft. Like that is what really drives it. Not as much as the excitement, but the accountability they have to themselves. That's really contagious, and that makes everybody raise their own standard that they have for themselves.
Vocal thing, right? It's
I think it really is a presence. Like you understand that there's different guys that go about their jobs in different ways. I don't really think it has to be a vocal thing, and that's the unique part. It's just seeing somebody who's consistent on a day-to-day basis.
Obviously, all of you guys are big, strong guys, but usually on the whole line, there's that one guy who kind of brings that toughness, that nastiness. Who's that guy for you guys?
I think we're still searching for that right now as a unit. I think right now as a unit, we're all trying to be that guy. Like that's the ideal situation where we're all that guy. And I think you saw glimpses of it this weekend. Like everybody being around the ball, like everybody finishing on their man. Like we all want to be that guy. We don't want to pick out one guy. Like if that's the standard, then everybody should be at that standard. Like that's the ideal goal for our offensive line. We don't want to, that's our bell cow. We want to lean on this guy. No, everybody be that guy. Everybody be the guy that down in, down out, I'm going to be able to depend on you, know where you're going to be at. I know you're going to be finishing your man, blocking to the whistle. I know you're going to be over there picking up our ball carriers, our running backs, and protecting our quarterbacks with your life. You know what I mean?
How old were you when you first knew who Jason Peters was?
It's funny. So my younger brother grew up a Philadelphia Eagles fan. So one year my parents, they drove us up to Philadelphia's camp. And I think I can't even remember what the year was, but I was able to see him practice. I think I was probably in 6th grade maybe, and I was able to see him practice. That was awesome. I mean, and just that Eagles team at the time was, they're a perennial playoff team. So yeah, I grew up watching Jason Peters a lot, and then they would come down to Baltimore for a preseason game every year. Sometimes he wasn't dressed, so.
What do you think you're going to glean from him being with you guys?
A Hall of Fame talent. As a young offensive lineman, the opportunity to learn from greats is something I'll try to take in everything I can from him and just learn. I mean, I think he's 39 years old. Like, he's probably taken 1 million pass sets in his career. Like, to understand the knowledge that he has for the game, the knowledge he has for training, and the preparation it takes to play that long at that high of a level, I'll probably be in his back pocket. I'll probably be asking him more questions than he wants me to ask. But I just want to learn from him and understand, what do you do that sets you apart from everybody else?
Mentioned that Bears fans. I was wondering, having your first interaction with them, what is your opinion of them? How have you been able to see their loyalty, their ferocity? What is your opinion of them so far?
I think it's a passionate city. They take pride in what they do, and I think as our job as football players to play for one of the most historic franchises in the NFL, we got to take pride in what we put on the field. We got to match that intensity, you know what I mean, and go above and beyond it. But it was awesome, and I wasn't dressed, but I remember our first Thursday night game in 2019. Just the national anthem. I was like, wow, like this is different. Like, everybody tells you, it's different. Like, I had experienced, college stadiums playing on the big stage. It was different. And I was like, this isn't 110,000 fans, but it's loud in here. So it's awesome. They're some of the best fans in the world.
Sam, you guys haven't had a ton of stability on the line during camp for a bunch of reasons, but how much has that put on you to try to be a stabilizing force and these last 2 or 3 weeks of just trying to be a stabilizer for a line that's been anything but?
Yeah, no matter who we put out there, but that's kind of what I was alluding to earlier. Like, we got to have a standard of play that we have set for us. Like, are we covering to the football? Are we picking the backs up? So no matter who goes in there, it's just a next man up mentality. There should be no drop off in play. And building that standard, that comes with reps, and that comes over time. It's not something that, just happens in one day. You got to build the conditioning. You got to build the mental fortitude, the understanding the 2-minute situation. What are your assignments? What are your blocking calls? Like, who am I miking? Like, we need to all be seeing things through one set of eyes. And if we can do that, no matter who's on the field, then, that cohesiveness as a unit, that builds. And that's critical for our offense line. It's critical for our offense to succeed.
One guy who's shown the toughness you're looking for in the line, not a lineman, but it's Komet, who at least twice now has been kind of that third guy in, standing up for his teammates kind of guy. Is there, for lack of a better word, a more badass in him than we previously knew? Because he seems to be, really eager to kind of stand up for people and
Absolutely. Having a locker room full of guys who are going to back each other up and stand up for each other that's what, I've been a part of a lot of teams. This is my second year being on an NFL team, so I'm sure, in your line of work, it's the same. If you have people who are going to back each other up and you're never worried. Like, you're at the bottom of a pile. Your guys are pulling people off. Like, that's what you want. Like, that builds the trust. I know where you're going to be. Like, that for a quarterback, I'm putting the ball in this spot because I know my receiver is going to be there. For me, that's knowing, I'm going to slide this way. Cody knows he can go help the tackle because I'm coming right now. Like, it's not a second thought. And if you can eliminate those second thoughts, then that creates the ability to play fast.
Sam, that first drive after halftime in the third quarter, I know you were on the sideline, but how dialed in were you to that possession, and what was your vantage point on on some of the things that went on in there?
Very dialed in. I've been there where I was playing entire preseason games or I was getting in at halftime. So, like, for a lot of guys, this is, their opportunity to shine and their moment to play great. So whatever I can do, I'm looking at defenses, like trying to study people's stances, linebacker alignments to say, like, here's a tip, like, go from there. But, I thought the guys did a great job. Adam is in his 6th year in the NFL, so he has a knowledge of the game and understanding of the game to help lead those younger guys.
Was there a play of Justin's Saturday that you took particular note of?
Not really. So I understand that like, we're still in preseason. There's still things like we're going through and working through. So, you know, it's not one play. This is, you know, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. And you know, this season is even longer than previous ones. So it's just stacking the good days. You know what I mean? You got to come out there and get better every day.
Fun though, wasn't it?
Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome. You know, the crowd was great. The energy was great. Anytime you win it's awesome. Like people say, oh, it's just preseason. No, winning is the best thing.
All right, thanks, everybody.